What up everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today on Fitness Tech Reviews, we're going to be going over the Umidigi uRun smartwatch fitness tracker. So this is a fitness tracker for under $50 and it has GPS involved. So let's go ahead and see if it's worth your money. Out of the box, you are going to be getting three things. You get your watch, you get your magnetic charger, so this does click in relatively easy, magnetically, only one way, and you're also going to be getting your manual as well, which is going to help you get into your app. But let's go ahead and get into the specifications. Like I said, this guy comes in at $47. It was recently on sale for $39, so it does go on sale every so often, so relatively cheap. It does come with a touchscreen LCD TFT display that is 1.1 inches, and it does have 2.5D glass on it, so it is scratch resistant. One thing that you should know about the display, even though it is circular, you're only going to get the actual display. There's a big bezel on the side, but you get what you get when you're buying for under 50 bucks. It does have a 180 milliamp hour battery that they say can get up to 10 days. Through my testing, about 9 days is what you should expect, and that is pretty darn good. It does have 5 atmospheres of water resistance, so yes, you can go swimming with it and it can get submerged in water without any problems. Stay away from salt water, but swimming is not one of the 17 sports modes it tracks, so that is a little disappointing. About those sports modes, manually you will have to start your own workout. It won't start its workout on its own. Sensors it has, of course, it has to have a heart rate monitor, it has an SpO2 sensor, an accelerometer, and also it has its GPS all built in. It does have Bluetooth 5.0, so the most recent Bluetooth. In 3 colors, it comes in gray, gold, and white. Paiactive App is available with Android 4.4 and iOS 8.0 or better. Alright, let's go ahead and get right into the app. So what you're seeing here is you have all your basic stuff, your steps for your day, basically the amount of calories you're burning, where your heart rate has been, so it does have continuous heart rate. You do have to activate it through the app. It has your workouts right there and also has your sleep tracking at the bottom as well. When you tap that top left button, it's going to be your personal info. So if you want to change all that, that is right there. And when you hit the center, that's where your devices are. Of course, I do have the uRun. When you click on that, this is where you can actually go into the app and change your heart rate to whole heart rate detection for the day. Like you saw, it does take a little bit to load. That's one of the things I was a little disappointed with this app, is it's not the most efficient app in the world. I had to update the actual band 2 different times and it took a while. Believe me, it took a while to actually update, so that was relatively disappointing. You can have your blood pressure right in there, you can have remote photography, all that. You could change your apps and widgets, like what you want notifications with, so it does have a lot of your messengers and stuff like that built in to be able to notify you on the watch itself. And you can also change your watch panel. There are only 4 displays. You can change it on your watch and you can change it in the app, so there aren't a lot of displays. Also a little disappointing. And then of course, when you go over to the My Profile, your devices, you can change your goals here. You can go into your help sensor. There's third-party programming, so you can sync this with either Google Fit or Strava, so that is a big plus. And then when you go into the settings, you can change your mailbox, stuff like that, about us. You can change everything from there with a setup guide at the bottom. So pretty small app. Alright, let's go ahead and get into the UI of this guy. As you can tell, it does have 2 buttons. We'll get into that in a second. But on the back, this is where you have all your sensors. And of course, you have this for where you can put in your magnetic charger. Clicks in pretty darn easily. And of course, you have your sensors. Right here at the back is where you can actually take off the bands. Relatively easy to remove, and it is 22 millimeters. So if you have any 22 millimeter bands at home, you'll be able to use them. Then going from there, when you do use that top right button, it goes into your settings. So you can go into sports. Those are those 17 sports mode built right in. Then when you click it back, it goes back home. You have your data, your status, your sleep is right here, where your heart rate, you can check your SpO2, your blood pressure. This is where you need to put it in manually. You can check your messages, your music is right there as well. And then you can get your weather, flashlight, alarm, find your phone, compass, and your shutter. So you can use your actual watch to take pictures, your timer, your stopwatch, and your settings. So your settings, you have your display, what you want to do with your style. Again, there's only 4 different ones for it, so there really isn't a good amount. The thing I hate is this isn't a back button, it just goes all the way home. So when I swipe down, this is where your quick settings are, night mode, vibrations, you can keep your screen on for 5 minutes is enabled if I like, so it doesn't turn off for that amount of time, find your phone, alarm clock, but back into settings. So going in display, you can change your brightness, what level you would like, and then also what your GPS, high or normal. So this bottom right button doesn't really do anything unless you want to go into your workout. Bottom right button goes right to workout, so that is a pretty nifty thing. If you're looking to start a workout relatively quickly, you can hit that bottom right button. That's pretty much the only thing it does. But going back into settings, you could check out what your time is, either a 24-hour or 12-hour, and you could check your distance. And wow, I just realized you can actually change it to miles right here. So when I am talking about it through the actual app itself, you can change it to miles. That's my bad. The temperature of your skin, Celsius or Fahrenheit, so that's very helpful. I probably should have put it to Fahrenheit. Vibration mode, what your key is, so what this bottom right button will do. Reminders, go into your system, and then you can restart or shut down from there. And then about your phone is at the bottom. Swipe to your right, this will check your heart rate. This is your SpO2. Of course, it won't measure anything because I don't have anything on. Your sleep data, I didn't use it last night. What the weather is, of course, low battery just popped. This is where you have your music selection and changing it, and then of course what you've been doing throughout the day and as far as your activity is concerned. And if you just go the other way, it does that. When you swipe up, this is going to give you all your data, and that's pretty much that. You actually have to go all the way into your notifications to know if you got any messages or not. Now let's go ahead and get right into the fitness and sleep tracking. So one thing that I was a little weirded out by, so when I go back a couple days, I did this workout on the 15th, the heart rate didn't come up immediately. You can see it right here at the bottom, but the heart rate zones came up for some reason. I did change the band, as you can see, all of a sudden it started tracking me to be a little bit less tight around my wrist, but I felt like every time I put my arm down, it lost my heart rate a little bit. That's when it started coming down. So that was my high intensity interval training, and of course I got my Whoop right over here. And talking about that, the running, it has its GPS involved. So as you can tell, it shows you how it went, and it does go in kilometers. So I had a 1.56 kilometer run. It is what, 0.96 of a mile or something like that. So it was a little short on what I typically run in my mile. But heart rate detection was actually pretty good. It's right here. It was down by a little bit, so it didn't get all the way up to like my 185-ish, but it worked really well as far as running is concerned. But as you can tell, it dips down at the end. That's when I rested and I put my arm down, and it lost my heart rate by a little bit. My heart rate definitely didn't go down that quickly. The big things with running is it actually will calculate your pace with kilometers, and you can just look down at your watch and check your pace from there. So that was a big plus as far as running is concerned. But as far as high intensity interval training, not a big fan. As far as its sleep tracking is concerned, it isn't really that advanced. Even though it has an SpO2 sensor, it almost goes how much you woke up, how much light sleep you got, and how much deep sleep you got. It doesn't go into REM or anything like that. And of course I got my Whoop right over here to let you know what's going on. It's relatively accurate as far as the overall sleep is concerned, but as far as a good metric of where your sleep is and what you really got, it's not really the best. I was expecting a little bit more, but it is passable. So what are my overall thoughts and recommendations on the Umidigi uRun? Decent for running, decent if you need a GPS, and of course a pace right on your wrist. Works relatively well. To get my best heart rate tracking, I did actually rotate to your wrist, and you actually can change it to miles, as you saw when I went through the UI, so that's also good as well. But if you are looking for high intensity interval training and you are looking for something that's relatively accurate with that, could not really recommend this band. As I said, when I put my hands to the side, it kind of loses the heart rate a little bit, and when you're in a high intensity workout, your hands are all over the place. But if you're running and your hands are up high, it works pretty well. There are a lot of other options out there as far as GPS enabled ones are. I'd probably recommend something just a little bit more expensive, like the Charge 4. If you're looking for an awesome one, Fitbit Charge 4 will work great for you, and you can do it in high intensity interval training. So I would definitely recommend something along those lines if you're looking for a good fitness tracker. And also if you're looking for a good sleeping tracker, not gonna be the best. I did check out the Amazfit Bip U. Check that out right up here. That actually was a watch that has relatively the same size. It has a good screen, but it has an awesome sleep tracking. So check that review out, and it does have GPS involved as well, but it kind of has the same heart rate issues. Hopefully guys enjoyed this video. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you aren't subscribed yet. And if you use the links down below to check out and go to Amazon to buy any of the products I talked about, will go into helping me build my channel to help grow on YouTube. But other than that, stay happy, stay healthy, and above all, stay positive. I'll see you guys in the next one.